Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the Audio Levels channel. Welcome back to another review. If you are new here, welcome. This is the Audio Levels channel and we have reviews of all sorts of very high-end earphones from like $1,500 right down to these little bangers that are $150 with ultra premium sound. So if you like audio, please go ahead, hit the subscribe button. It really helps out. Try to grow the channel up to 2,000 or so viewers would be nice by the end of the year, but we'll see how that goes. Probably not, but I would appreciate it. This is different because usually I don't review. I review hi-fi stuff in other capacities as an installer, but usually I don't touch Bluetooth speakers because usually Bluetooth speakers are crap. I'm the biggest proponent of a company called Minirig out of the UK. Minirig make fantastic speakers. They're about the size of a coffee cup and they're so powerful. Minirig have focused on just making one really good quality driver inside a case that pumps out some fantastic sound. But I was speaking to somebody recently and they said, have you tried the XSound Mega by Tribit? I was like, I've not even heard of Tribit. So I went on Amazon, picked this up, and this is a mind-blowing product. I think it retails for about $100. I'll leave the links in the description below for the pricing because I saw right now that there's an offer, a coupon on Amazon to get more off it, which I didn't get myself, unfortunately. But this thing it sounds so clear and so distortion-free at volume while still having really strong bass presence. It's sort of a no frills. I know it's got like lights and other stuff, but there seems to be a real focus on the sound quality and the ability to go louder than other people. As I say, I've got the BESaudioreview A1, B&O, A1, B1, A2. I have 3 mini rigs. And I have a bunch of other things like Gravistar, other speakers, and none of them come close. Even the A1, which is multiple times more expensive, does not match the performance that I'm getting out of this. This is enough to fill my living room, which is something I would maybe use a mini rig in the bedroom. But this being bigger, but it's so clear and vocals are so nice through it. Mid-range presentation is excellent, while the treble is not too hot. But then the bass can thump, yet doesn't distort and become flabby at high volumes. I think this is a very good speaker. So let's just talk about what's in the box. This is the box XSound Mega, blah blah blah, fairly normal. So you can see it's IPX7 waterproofed, so it can be submerged for short periods of time. Bluetooth 5.0, which is something that you don't see. Like, I think my Bang & Olufsen is on 4.2. They're so far behind. And you're not going to be using a speaker like this for gaming, so latency isn't really an issue to be up at 5.0, but it does give support for higher-end codecs and higher-end streaming codecs. Again, you're not really going to notice the difference on a speaker of this sort. But just being up there and including the latest technology is a lot nicer. Now we're on to Bluetooth 5.3 at the time of this video, but Bluetooth 5.0 included in this speaker is going to help with range, stability, and battery life, so it's a welcome addition. Multi-EQ mode, which I'll talk about in a second, allows you to switch different EQs using this button. 20 hours of playtime is not realistic in my testing. I found that I was listening to this most of the time at about 60% of maximum volume. At 60% of maximum volume, I was getting 18 hours and I got 18 hours and 35 minutes in the last test that I ran of continuous playtime. Left it out in the garage and checked on it. So it was 18 hours 35 minutes, but I've been getting between sort of 18 hours and 18 hours 45 minutes, which is still very good for a manufacturer's claim. Just know that if you're going to be listening at higher levels, it's going to be a shorter playtime. The other thing is if you plug it in using the included 3.5mm to 3.5mm jack, you're foregoing Bluetooth, and that's going to extend the the battery life of the player. Superior sound, absolutely, and 100 plus broadcast means that you can link 100 speakers, so you have multiple of these speakers, you can link them. I've not tried that, but reading about it, it seems like you can pair 2 of these as a stereo system, which would be very, very cool. And not something I'm going to do because I have hi-fi speakers. I have very expensive Dali Lectors that I listen to as my hi-fi speakers, but as a portable speaker, that would be a good option for somebody that's maybe having a party or wanting to fill more of a space. Link the speakers together and you'll have sound coming from multiple areas in a room. Now, it also has USB-C charging. You get a USB-A to USB-C, so there's no need to carry any more adapters. In fact, I've just been using the USB-C to USB-C from my iPad Pro on it. What else is there? The lanyard. Yeah, it comes with a lanyard, so it's sort of like a boombox carry strap, I guess. You hook that to the 2 points here and here, and you can sort of carry it over your shoulder. That's pretty good because it is a hefty little unit. I would say it's over a kilo, or around a kilo. It's got a lot of weight to it, so carrying it just in your hand is going to be probably a bit too much for any sort of distance. I'll get the box, put it up there. Now, I'm about to fly to Costa Rica tomorrow. I'm taking this with me. So for that reason, I'm recording on my phone and not on my camera, so I cannot turn this on, otherwise it's going to connect the Bluetooth to it. But as you see, there's this ring of lights, and don't worry, like me, when I was ordering it, I was like, this is going to be tacky as all hell. I hate stuff. I hate RGB lighting. I think it looks classless and horrible, but you can switch by pressing this. It'll either respond to the music, like it will light up along with the bass line, or you can switch it to off, which is what I did and just left it sitting in the back end of the room. It does have 4 little rubber feet on the bottom of it, and it has this sort of weave design. The materials used in this design are fantastic. It feels absolutely rock solid. It doesn't feel plasticky at all. It just feels absolutely rock solid. Really, really, really impressed with the build quality, especially again because it's $99. I'm actually really, really impressed by this. You can see the waterproof flap over the bottom of it. If you take this off and you leave it exposed and it does get submerged, that is not going to be IPX7 protected. You need to use this rather thick. You can see there's multiple different gaskets on the end there. You need to have this pressed down firmly to ensure that it's going to be waterproof. But you can see on the back here there is a USB port and the charging port along with the 3.5mm input. The device can be used as a power bank. This is something else. You can actually plug your USB in and then plug it into your phone, charge your phone off the power bank. So it's another very handy thing. It maybe saves you carrying an extra power bank if you're carrying the speaker anyway. Now, into controls, these beautiful rubberized, clicky, I'll see if I can press this without turning it on. It has very nice tactile feedback on it. Bluetooth connection, pairing as usual, hold that down, pair your phone, you're connected, never had any dropouts. And the range I was getting was really, really impressive. A couple of rooms over, other side of the swimming pool, no problem. It has play, pause. You can double tap the plus and the minus buttons for skipping tracks or scrolling through tracks. I think if you triple press, it will actually scroll. Adjusting the lights, and then you have the EQ button. The EQ button is very interesting because if you see down here, I've left this sticker on it, I will be removing it. But you can see down here you have a X bass mode, a music mode, and an audiobook mode. When I got this speaker in, I accidentally had it set to audiobook, and I thought this sounded terrible. And I was kind of disappointed. I was like, I was going to have maybe a rant about this. But when I pressed the EQ and I just put it to music, not onto X bass, but just onto music, absolutely wonderful sound. Really brought out the bass, brought out an overall more sort of punchy tone, a slight warmer tone. But then I was listening to the Dudesy podcast with Will Sasso, and I flicked it over to the audio book setting, and the sound is perfect. It takes away that artificial bass enhancement when you're listening to vocals, just pure vocals. And yeah, like it's one EQ setting. The X bass is still too much for me. I think like you're pushing it a little bit in terms of creating an artificial sound. I think that's common with any speaker of this size, that if you're trying to push the bass too far, it's going to become distorted. But in the music setting, it is the best of this speaker size. It is the best bass that I've heard, because it's so controlled and it's so tight. But it has some rumble to it. It's a speaker that adapts to the music. Like if you're listening to hip hop, rap, that sort of stuff, it'll punch with solid depth and good sub bass response without distortion. And I think that lack of distortion is so important, because when you get flabby bass response that bleeds over into your mid range, that's what sounds bad. Not a lack of bass sounds bad, but distortion in the bass that bleeds over into the mids and makes the whole sound muddy. The reason this doesn't sound muddy, I found out after, is that it actually it's got 30 watts of power in each speaker, but they use titanium drivers in it, so that rigidity in the titanium means that when it's moving, there's less flexation of the cone, and the diaphragm actually stays more rigid, therefore moves the air in a more fluid way with less distortion, less reverberation. It sounds absolutely fantastic. Now, there's some tricks and tips that I want to give you, which are just general tricks and tips. If you don't take anything, you don't want to purchase this speaker, you're purchasing something else, take this trick and tip away. Placement of wireless speakers is so important. For example, on hi-fi speakers, you'll have a bass port. Companies will either put the bass port at the back, but intend you to keep that speaker off the wall by a certain amount of distance, so that the backfiring air doesn't muddy up the bass. To counteract that, a lot of speaker companies will put, especially on active speakers or powered hi-fi speakers, will put the bass port pointing forward. So you can put the sound right up against, or the speaker right against the wall, and not have it affect the bass or the sound quality in any negative way. However, when you're listening to a portable speaker and you want more bass, you want more sound, you want something louder, it's better to take advantage of the room, of the space that you're in. You place, if this is a wall, I would place the speaker a little bit off it, maybe 1 foot, 6 inches to a foot off the wall. And what happens is the sound will fly off and bounce up. That therefore artificially increases the volume. By artificially increasing the volume, you can keep the volume level that you're actually listening to on the speaker a little bit lower, which will then mean that the bass is distorting less. Now, the Tribit XSound Mega doesn't really require that, because forward facing it can get very, very loud, more than loud enough, and the bass still remains very nice and tight. But if you're listening to a cheaper speaker or a different type of speaker, try pointing your speaker at the wall or putting it in the corner of a room, not directly into the corner, but just a few inches away from it. And take advantage that you can listen, then the volume will overall be louder, because the sound is blasting off the walls and being amplified. And by doing that, you can listen at a lower volume, which means the bass distorts less, which means the sound is overall better. That's just a little trick. But doing that with this, takes it to a whole nother level. This absolutely thumps. This slams for the size. It is, what I'm saying, the best speaker, the best portable speaker for its size. Just be aware, this is the size. This is my regular man-sized hand. If that is something that's going to fit into your rotation or you're happy carrying, by all means get this. Otherwise, still look at the Minirig, the Minirig 3, I think they're at just now. The only letdown of the Minirig is really that this sounds better, this sounds louder, but the Minirig is smaller, but it uses a proprietary power cable. So that's it for this review. I'm sorry I kind of rambled on this one. I think I've maybe done 1 or 2 speaker reviews for this sort of products. As I say, I usually do hi-fi speakers, so I don't really know what to talk about. So let me know where I can improve in the comments. Just leave me something down below, a little bit of feedback that might help me make these sort of ones better in the future. With these products, I want to buy them. I'm not interested. If you're a company, I tried to contact Tribit and there was some issues. So going forward, I want to purchase these, but I'm only going to purchase ones that I really have faith are going to be good. As I say, I knew nothing about this, but a good friend gave me a recommendation on this and said, absolutely check this out. And then I watched the Alen Ross reviews channel. Alen Ross, fantastic channel. Go and check that out to give some love to somebody else. Alen Ross's reviews very in depth and definitely based on what he said about this, but its actual performance. I think I would trust that guy wholeheartedly because he's definitely got it right on this one. So thank you very much for watching. I'm rambling a little bit. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.